did warn you, we're going to talk about the Union Jack here, and I did warn you I might have to bring up the dreaded subject of the Eurovision Song Contest, which I gather will unfold in Malmö in Sweden on Saturday, is it? Yeah, I mean, I used to have to watch this for a living. It used to drive me mad. So you have the semi-finals through the week, and then it unfolds in all its horror on Saturday night, about 3 hours of nonsense. Yeah, I understand a lot of people love it. I'm just one of those people who never did. But then again, I don't like anything. I hate everything. Anyway, our entrance this year is Olly Alexander. He's from Years and Years, that group. Great actor as well. He's in that series, It's a Sin. Well, let's endure, shall we, a few seconds of Olly's song for Britain this year. It's called Dizzy.
Make me dizzy from your kisses. Will you take my hand? Take me back to the beginning again.
Did someone just strangle a cat? I mean, God, what a song. Anyway, we're not going to win with that. A lot of people say we'll come last. I think that would be an optimistic prediction, to be honest with you. Anyway, good luck to Olly, seriously. People do love that stupid contest, so what the hell. But anyway, in the run-up to this, he's given an interview. And he was asked about the sort of Union Jack. And he said that he's ambivalent about it. This is our national flag, of course. He's ambivalent about it. He thinks it can be nationalist and divisive. To be fair, he went on to say that he sees himself representing the good things about the flag, which in his world were inclusivity and diversity. Make of that what you will. But he didn't entirely slam the flag. But it's typical, isn't it, of a certain type of person. I'm not saying he necessarily is one of those people, but you know what I mean. Those people who hate our flag. You know, remember Emily Thornberry? Looking at the St George's flag down in Kent, Thanet, and thinking that was a thing to be mocked because some guy had hung it outside of his house. A patriot. Patriotism. Ugh. Pathetic, isn't it? Let's talk about this syndrome to the head of campaigns at Popular Conservatism, Andrew Allison. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Kevin.
Were you tapping your toes and getting up to dance during Dizzy just now?
No, I can't say that I was, but you mentioned that it might be like strangling a cat, and one of our cats came in, and as soon as he started to sing, he went off to the other end of the room. So maybe that says everything you need to know.
I'll tell you what, Andrew, everyone's a critic. Your cat's got good taste, by the way. But what do you think about this? I mean, as I say, I've got to be fair to Olly. He did say, I think there's lots of good things about the British flag, but he also said he's ambivalent about it because he thinks it can be divisive and nationalistic. And, you know, we go back to, remember when Emily Thornberry took one look at the St George's flag and thought that the guy hanging that outside of his house should be a figure of fun to have contempt for. And you know the syndrome, all these left-wingers who hate our flag. Why is that?
Perhaps you should ask them, because I can't quite work it out. I think we've got the most beautiful flag in the world. It's certainly one of the most distinctive flags in the world. I mean, along with the US flag, the Stars and Stripes. And everywhere you see that flag around the world, people think, oh, well, that's good quality produce, good quality merchandise that's been sold because it's got that flag on it. But these people, of course, are really ashamed of their country.
Yes.
That is the fundamental thing in all of this. They're ashamed of their country, and they're also, well, I think they should probably just leave their country if they really are this internationalist.
Yeah, you know, St George's Day, the other nations of the United Kingdom, Wales and particularly Scotland, not sure about Northern Ireland, but Scotland and Wales, they go gangbusters for their National Day, St Andrew's Day, and what's the day down in, what's St David's Day in Wales? Here, St George's Day is a day when Englishmen, or English people, seem to hang their heads low and, you know, nothing to see here. Don't mention it's St George's Day. Why aren't we patriotic about England?
For some reason, and this goes back, I think, for a number of decades now, and if we remember the Union Jack, it was often associated with the National Front in days gone by. I think the flag of St George has been associated with some of the sort of knuckle-dragging racist Neanderthals. And for some reason, people seem to think, well, in which case, then we can't possibly be proud of our flag or use our flag. But I'm sure there are some sort of Ku Klux Klan racists out in America who like to drape themselves with the American flag.
Trust me, they do. Trust me, they do.
Yeah, but ordinary Americans don't think, well, I'm suddenly now ashamed of my flag. I mean, you've lived in America. I've visited a few times. But, I mean, you go to a local diner and there's about 4 American flags on the top of it. They fly it proudly, irrespective of whether some other people try to misuse it.
I'm glad you brought America up, because that is the contrast. Americans of all creeds, colours, types respect their flag. They love their flag. You know, to burn the Stars and Stripes is an act of sacrilegious horror to them. Yeah. And they're taught it at school. Of course, lefties would say they're indoctrinated. No, they're not. They're taught patriotism. They're taught to love their flag. And they do, across the board. They love their flag. And that, of course, engenders a kind of positive patriotism that we don't have here. So how about that? Why don't we have schools teaching kids to love our flag?
Well, love our flag and love our country and be proud of our country. Of course, we've made mistakes along the way. Of course, we haven't been perfect. But I generally believe that this is the greatest country in the world. I think it has done an enormous amount of good around the world. And this is what people need to be taught. I mean, look at the whole slavery debate. What about the fact that we were the first country to outlaw slavery in the British Empire? What about all the lives of those sailors in the Royal Navy who lost their lives defending this new law that had banned slavery? Yeah. These things are simply not taught in schools anymore, Kevin, and they ought to be.
Yeah, and I think teachers in particular, schools in particular, should teach the kids this, as we were alluding to earlier. Just because some, sort of quasi-Nazi nutcases have hijacked the St George's flag or hijacked the Union Jack doesn't mean to say that undermines the flag itself. The rest of us should embrace our flag and tell these knuckle draggers where to get off.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. We just need to be proud again. And I think the vast majority of people in Britain are proud. They're proud of our history. They're proud of our flag. They're proud of our achievements over the years. And it is a small minority of people who are utterly ashamed of this country. But they tend to be the people now who would like to wrap themselves around in an EU flag, aren't they? I mean, you see them in Parliament Square and other places in the country. Well,
Ukraine flags, they like those as well.
Well, they like the Ukraine flags for a different reason. But I mean, they've been wrapping themselves around with EU flags and putting images of EU flags on their faces.
Yes, that's right. They love everyone else's flags except for ours. Do you think, and I don't want to be too harsh on Olly Alexander, who seems like a great guy and all that, and I'm sure he'll do us proud, but the BBC chooses our entrant into the Eurovision Song Contest. Do you think the BBC, I know it's a long shot, but shouldn't they spend more time trying to find a patriot to represent us, trying to find someone who's not ambivalent about our flag, someone who loves our flag, to represent this nation in the Eurovision Song Contest? Shouldn't they do that?
Well, I'm just looking out of the window at the moment, and I'm sure that I saw a pig flying by. I think that is the only response I can give to you for that one, Kevin.
Yeah, I did say it was a long shot. Listen, Andrew, great to talk to you. Let's talk again soon.